Okay, where to begin? Caroline and I both went to the gym from separate locations today. I from work, Caroline from the building. So we took separate cars, leaving both of the parking spots that we operate and use in our facility, our building, open. Okay? 2 open parking spots. So we go to the gym, and we're both working out there, and Caroline leaves first. And when she gets home, she texts me, Will, what the hell? There's someone parked in both of our parking spots. Double parked in both of our parking spots. And I was like, what? And she's like, there's someone double parked in both of our parking spots. And I was like, that's insane. Why would someone do that? Now, here's an important detail. Our building has free guest parking. Tons of it. It's one of the reasons that people live in this building in LA is because there is an abundance of parking. They even have a free valet to valet your car to the free parking. Okay? So we're both like, why in the world would someone do this? Anyway, I basically tell Caroline, wait, park in guest parking. Hopefully they'll move their vehicle quickly. Hopefully it's someone who is just running in for something, right? I get it. Maybe your wife is pregnant. Maybe your sibling needs, insulin. I don't know. Okay? Let's not jump to conclusions. So, an hour goes by, and Caroline tells me that the person is still in the parking space. At this point, she goes to the building and she starts talking to some of the administrators within the building. When she mentions the vehicle in question, they go, oh yeah, this person has done this not once, not twice, but thrice. 3 times previous, they have done this, and they've left the car in the spot for days at a time, which is madness. Pure and utter madness. So they tell us we can call parking enforcement. Now, we are not familiar with what that is. Sure, it's been an hour. Call parking enforcement. So we call parking enforcement. Parking enforcement shows up and writes them a ticket. And we go, are you going to tow the car? And parking enforcement said, that's not what we do. 2 hours have gone by now at this point. So we independently call a tow truck, and tow trucks say, we are not an impound. We don't impound vehicles. So we call an impound, and the impound says, your garage doesn't have a high enough ceiling. We can't do that. The building should have someone. So we talk to the building, and the building says we can call parking enforcement. It's a big circle now. No one is helping us. And so I go, Caroline, it's been 2 hours now. Let's not get frustrated. Let's make this funny, because that's what I do with my life. I make things funny. Let's make a video out of this. Let's do it. Let's build a barricade behind this person's car using refuge we find in the recycling area of our very large building. What do we find? An abandoned shopping cart, paint buckets, a used elliptical machine. And so over the course of the next hour, I said that, we moved this barricade from the trash section to behind his vehicle. At this point, we're going, how is this person still in our spot? I guess he intends to leave this vehicle for another few days, and there's nothing that our building is willing to do about it, and there's nothing that any tow company is willing to do about it. So I know of a few vehicle-related pranks. Why not execute one? And I go through my database, baloney on the car, nah, it destroys the paint. Some of these packing peanuts in the window, I'd need an open window. Post-its. Post-its are hilarious. I'll go get 2,000 Post-its and cover the entirety of this person's car in Post-its. I will tell you. I will tell you. Now, some of you are asking, what kind of car is it? It is a very beat up Honda. It is a Honda that has been through the Mad Max style wasteland that is LA for a long time. And there's dents and scrapes and crap all over it. And inside the car, there are parking tickets. Lots of them. A plethora of parking tickets from the massive times this person has not only illegally parked in our building thrice, but in the city of Los Angeles. Unpaid parking tickets as far as the eye can see. Now, I saw someone in the chat say, crackhead. And I don't like to throw unpleasant monikers around, but someone might jump to that conclusion. Anyway, I have time to walk to my local Target and procure Post-its and candy. And I come back and Caroline and I enjoy a little dinner and candy while we're watching Yellow Jackets. And I go, he's still there. Let's go put those Post-its on. So we go down and we are creating an assembly line of Post-it applications. She hands me the Post-it, I put it on. We get done with one entire door, which has taken us no less than 20 minutes. When we hear someone go, oh, and we turn, and who are we facing but famous actor Nat Wolff? And I go, oh, because I am a gigantic movie fan. So I know exactly who this person is immediately. I've seen him in a number of films. And here's the scene. I'm looking at Nat Wolff. Nat Wolff is looking at me. Nat Wolff is looking at Caroline. Caroline's looking at Nat Wolff. I look at Caroline. Caroline knows who he is. We look at each other. We both realize we know who this guy is. It's Nat Wolff. And he goes, are you putting stuff on my car? And I go, huh? This is your car? And he goes, yeah. And I go, yeah, we're putting Post-its on the car because you parked in our spot. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. And I go, why did you park here? And he goes, someone parked in the spot I was supposed to park in. And I go, there's guest parking. And he went, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. And at this point, we're frozen. And I start removing the Post-its. And I go, Nat Wolf, you know you've been getting very expensive parking tickets every time you've done this. Thrice. To which he responds, yeah. At this point, I've taken all the Post-its off. Caroline is shocked. And now we have to move the giant Mad Maxian trash barricade that we built behind the car. And while he sees us moving the paint cans and elliptical that we placed there, he went, you guys are psychopaths. And we went, you parked in our spot, both of them, for 3 hours. And no one knows how to behave because we know who he is and he knows that we know who he is and he's a very wealthy actor. And why the fuck is he driving a dinged up Honda? And why in God's name is he double parked in my parking spot? And so he gets in his car and he pulls out, and before he goes, he lowers the window, and this is the most mind-boggling part of all. He rolls down the window and looks at Caroline and I and goes, that was a good bit. You should come to my Hanukkah party. And we said, yeah. And then he did this and drove away. And now I'm sure there are some of you in the chat who are going, Will is a whimsical storyteller. Surely none of this is true. He made up all this to regale you. I have photo evidence. And I won't show the license plate, but that is a barricade of trash behind his car. I've never been so confused in all my days. But here is the thing. Now that the story is over, you have to understand that when someone parks in your parking spot, there is a kind of righteous indignation that possesses your body. There is kind of a cosmic justice. You become justice incarnate, the scales of justice. You feel violated. It's like when someone shits on the floor of your apartment. You just don't do it. So, when Caroline and I were 3 hours into the parking saga, we expected a good ballyhoo, words to be exchanged, perhaps maybe some swearing. You so-and-so, you don't just park in someone's spot. And it was like a ruined orgasm. Here he comes, the mysterious owner of the car. He's a very famous actor who I'm a fan of. What? Now I don't get to be mad because I'm so fucking shocked.
Plus storytelling ability.
It would be like, I don't even know what it's like. I've never experienced such a feeling. Light Yagami blocked me in.
And you just start taking the Post-its off and putting them
Yeah,
on me.
I started silently removing Post-it notes.
No one had talked yet.
And then it took me a good 4 or 5 minutes to move the barricade of trash. At least.
How about when you shook his hand?
I shook his hand?
Yes. At one point, like, I'm standing there.
I don't even remember
all the
that.
Post-its. You've gotten them off the window, and then we're kind of all staring still.
I don't
you
even
just
remember.
go, "Hey, I'm Will." He goes, "Hey," and then
I don't.
I am like,
I don't remember that at all.
and then I'm like, I'm Caroline. What's up? And I pulled my mask up so he wouldn't recognize me again. When we tried to take the paint cans out without him noticing, and he goes,
He called us psychos.
He goes, did you put paint cans
Behind my tires.
behind my tires?
Yeah.
And we're like,
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
yeah, we did. It's funny.
Yeah.
And then he called us fucking psychos, and I felt that.
Yeah. No, we were crazed. We deserve to be crazed.
Never in my life have I gone from so mad to so shocked.
Yeah.
And then after he drove away, I was mad that I never got to be mad.
Yeah. And he still invited you. Yeah. That's the best part. Is after a moment of reflecting on the situation, he had an epiphany and he went, "That's a good bit. That's a funny bit."
Rolls his window
Because
down.
he goes, "It's a good bit." And my response was, if you had given us another hour, it would have been really funny.